This is awkward occurrence or awkward entertainment. So I'm going to be talking about Suzanne Murphy's infidelity. I'm going to touch on that real quick. I'm going to read a couple of statements from the affidavit, but before that, I'm going to make some corrections about an earlier video. I stated the Morphew family had to wait 48 hours to file a missing persons report. That is incorrect. There is no wait time to file a missing persons report. I did not know that until I looked it up today. I was researching the Gabby Petito case and I came across some information I wanted to further look into. And lo and behold, you don't have to wait to file a missing persons report. You don't. Even if the person is on a trip somewhere and you haven't heard from them, you can still file a missing persons report. All right, second, Barry Morphew. I believe Barry Morphew called his daughter when police told him they found Suzanne's bike at a certain location. I believe he called his daughter and told his daughter where the bike was. The daughter called her boyfriend and told him to go check out the scene. The reason I bring this up is because in the affidavit, the officers are waiting by the bike. Out of nowhere, here comes Macy or Mallory's boyfriend. Walks up to the police and identifies the bike. So the boyfriend wasn't called by the police. I didn't know how he got there or where he knew where to go. So logically, I believe police told Barry where they were because Barry did meet the police later that night. Police told Barry. Barry told his daughters, and his daughters told one of their boyfriend, and the boyfriend went out there on his own will without being called out by the police. So just correcting those two things. Now let's get into this video. I'm going to read from the affidavit and I'm going to end this out. Alright, again, this is just Barry Morphew and his daughters getting into the truck when he bailed out. Like, his daughters knew their parents' relationship was at its end. The mom told the daughters she wanted a divorce. If you read the affidavit, she told the daughters. She was very open with her family about what she wanted to do with her life. Of course, Barry didn't want to hear that. Barry was sometimes, well, I guess all the time, Barry would go crazy. Once Barry told her he would commit suicide if she left. I mean, it's wackadoodle. But in this piece of the affidavit, it just talks about Libler, who's the lover of Suzanne Morphew, how they linked up again in 2019 through social media app LinkedIn. So before 2018, Suzanne and Jeff Libler had talked, but Libler ended the talks because his daughter saw one of the conversations between him and Suzanne. And he didn't want to get a divorce at the time. He didn't want to break up his family at the time. More than likely because when you divorce your wife, you're going to have to pay alimony, child support, this, that, and third. This also states, I may be getting ahead, Libler and Suzanne both believed they were soulmates because they shared interests in people and something else. But they believed they were soulmates. So at this state in their life, they're in their 40s and 50s. They're both married with kids. I don't see how you can be soulmates at this state in your life. You know, I understand Suzanne wanted to leave Barry because he's abusive, he's crazy, he's been cheating, he's controlling, he's maybe narcissistic. I understand that. I don't understand saying at 48, 50-something years old, oh, you're my soulmate, to your lover on the side. You get what I'm saying? But let's continue. So Libler and Suzanne did hook up at a college party back in the 80s. That's when Suzanne was in college, was the 80s. Late 80s. So that's how they know each other. Anything else I want to take from this clip right here before I continue on? Yes, Barry and Libler. After the college party, Barry was working on the golf course. Libler was playing golf. Barry knew, I don't know how he knew Suzanne had hooked up with Libler, so he approached Libler on the golf course. He was about to get into altercation with Libler until Libler told him, I'm going to have you fired. So Barry backed away, went on with his life. But let's continue. That was back in the college days. This wasn't in the 2010s. It couldn't have been the 2010s. Let's continue. This states in October 2019, third paragraph, Libler and Suzanne met up in Dallas. They spent a couple of nights together in a hotel. I believe of course they had consensual sex. Suzanne also spoke to Libler about her failing relationship with Barry. So she had a few talks with Libler about things she didn't like about Barry and things Barry said to her. Yeah, also, the first paragraph, Suzanne mentioned an incident she had on the beach with Barry in Mexico. While she was listening to her music, Barry became suspicious of her. So Suzanne started handing her phone over to Barry and told him, do whatever you want, go through it. So that was 2019. By 2019, Libler and Suzanne had already met. I think they met multiple times already, had already had sex. They were covering their relationship up by using different apps. So whatever app she was using, she would delete the text, or she probably would delete the app, then download it again whenever Barry gave her phone back. But she stated in 2019 to Libler, we can't use the phone anymore, she said. Barry watches everything I do, and I'm afraid he's going to find out. And that's when this thing in Mexico happened. But they started using LinkedIn after that. I guess they just stuck to straight social media apps. So in this session, police asked Libler how did he cover up his relationship activities with Suzanne. He states whenever Barry called, he left the room. He also states in the third paragraph, police asked what other steps did they take to conceal their relationship, and he responded, they talked all the time about protect for the kids, for the family, all that stuff. Suzanne knew when Libler was going to be working in his car, and he never initiated conversation with a phone call or a text. They communicated through LinkedIn in 2019 to determine when they could FaceTime each other. And then the fourth paragraph just talks of Suzanne and Libler talking about Barry once again. So Suzanne and Libler, a lot of their talks was about Suzanne leaving Barry. The first paragraph speaks of the soulmate thing I was talking about, how they believed they were soulmates. On session 2, Suzanne attempts to leave Barry and her affair. So as I stated at the beginning of the video, Suzanne told her daughters, her friends, and Barry she wanted to get out of her marriage, but Barry refused to listen to her. She always suspected Barry of having affairs for years and kept her affair very secretive to protect her daughters and the family of Jeff Libler. Now, Sheila Oliver would be a friend. Sheila Oliver, her daughter was having a wedding. Suzanne was going to watch the wedding on Snapchat on May 9th, but Suzanne never replied back. Now, let's continue. Now, the police, they found some darts in the house. They found some tranquilizer darts. So I'm going to get into that in a few. Okay, so when police told Barry Suzanne was having an affair, Barry did go back and tell his daughter as soon as he heard word from the police about this. So that's all this states is the police asking Barry, "Did you tell the girls?" And he said yes. And he said the girls just, I believe they cried about it. They just cried about it and got angry. And this is just a timeline of Barry at Holiday Inn Hotel. So when Barry was at Holiday Inn Hotel, he had a bunch of bags, white trash bags, I believe. He would get rid of these bags around town. Now, I believe these bags contained evidence of him killing Suzanne Morphew, and so do the police. But these bags were never recovered. Of course, it was too late by the time they arrested Barry. By the time they got this camera footage, it was way too late to go digging in trash that was months and months old, that was probably burnt in the field by now. But Barry tested Suzanne while he was in Broomfield. I made it to Broomfield, 8:41 a.m. I made it to Broomfield. Call me when you get a chance. This was just Barry covering his tracks and make it seem like Suzanne was alive. This is all this was. Yep, yep. 8:46. Barry was carrying two white trash bags and his khaki backpack, a pair of boots, a dark color item. Let's continue. This is about a search warrant on a Verizon cell phone. This is what I was saying earlier. One of the daughters stated it would be sad for me to stay home because my whole summer would be ruined. This was May 10th, 2020 at 3 p.m. I'm just so sad and blank and I texted mom. So let me do that again. I'm just so sad and Mallory and I, or Macy and I, texted mom for Mother's Day. And she still hasn't answered. And I'm scared her and dad probably got in a big fight. And I don't even know. It just made me want to be gone from the house even more. Because I don't want to be around them. It hurts me. And I know if blank's working, so I never knew what that blank was for right there. I can't put a name right there. And I know if blank working, I might have to be home a lot more, and it probably be the worst summer of my life. So if you know what that blank part is, let me know in the comment section. It says, I don't want to be around them, and it hurts me to know if blank is working. I don't think they will blank out Barry's name. Maybe that's the older daughter's name. So it hurts me to know if my older sister is working, I might have to be home more. I don't know. She was at college, though. She's also in college. So that might be Barry's name. Let's continue. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Again, if you know what I could possibly say, that blank spot, let me know. Okay, I'm thinking about doing this in another video, and I will do this in a separate video and talk about it. Shoshona Darke. So Shoshona Darke is Barry's mistress. She claimed she met Barry October 2020 because she was a housekeeper for the neighbors, and she met him at the dumpster by chance. She denied any romantic or sexual relationship with Barry. She also deleted items from her phone that would link her to Barry in front of investigators, and she was very evasive in answering questions. She also stated I don't know, I'm calling her Drake. I'm just gonna keep calling her Drake. Dark, her name Darky. It's Darky. Her name is really Darky. Okay, Darky says she called Drake sound better. Darky says she called the CBI tip line in May 2020 to report strange vehicles being in the area around the Puma Path house. Also, in a interview in December, Drake said she did not know Suzanne, and Suzanne, she's my age. She's a lot of people's age. Say I wrote. I don't know what Darky was saying right there. I'm gonna tell you in another video who I think Darky is. In another video. Let's continue there. That's it. All right, that's really it. Okay, I didn't put the other pieces. So in the affidavit, you will see a picture of Barry and Susanna or Darky in a hotel. You will see a picture of Barry parked outside of Susanna's place of residence. I really forget. I should have put the excerpt in this video. But the affidavit has the evidence showing Darky and Morphew were in a romantic relationship. And they probably were in a romantic relationship before October 2020. All right, let me read these pictures off left to right. Right here in this corner. He caught me cheating. It's his fault for spying on me. So it's his fault that you were cheating because he spied on you. What? It's his fault for spying on me. He caught you cheating, right? Cheating wife. What does that say at the bottom? Cheating wife. A survey found that twice as many women than men cheat on their partners. I don't know if that survey is true. It may be true. I do not know if that survey is true. All right. So now, only reason I put these pictures is because they were funny. That's really it. But I understand Suzanne was unhappy in her marriage. She reconnected with a guy she liked back in college, and Jeff Libler. They hooked up a bunch of times between 2018 and 2020. She wanted out of an abusive relationship with Barry. She fell in love with another married man, or with the married man, even though she was married also. I understand that. The whole family, not the whole family, everybody was committing adultery. They was committing adultery. I'm Christian. I believe even to get out of a marriage, one or the other person has to disagree with that person's personal religious belief. Or I forget the other reason. Why or how you can get out of a marriage in God's eyes. Well, that being said, I understand Suzanne, why she did what she did, how she felt. God does provide forgiveness. So if you want to leave your spouse and meet somebody else, God will forgive you. We are living under grace. Grace would be Jesus Christ's sacrifice, so our sins may be forgiven. So let me finish this out. And the reason I bring up Jesus Christ, because once again, Barry made a few statements in the affidavit about he believes God killed Suzanne for having an affair. He understands why Suzanne died because of that reason. But Barry never mentions he's still alive, even though he's cheated on his wife. If you look at the affidavit, Barry was looking up the usual guy stuff. Maybe porn, maybe how to meet other women. So Barry was having an affair. Barry was some type of hoe. Okay, he was a hoe. All right, all right. But again, these daughters knew their parents' relationship was going south, yo. I would not be standing by my dad at court, bailing him out, not bailing him out. I would not be at the police station when he gets released on bail. Like, dude, you murdered our mom, and I believe what the police say that you murdered our mom, because I saw how you guys would fight. I would not want to come home because I was miserable at home just because you guys was fighting so much. All right. Let me get up out of here. This has been awkward occurrence, awkward entertainment, and I will see you in the next video.